So welcome back, guys. If you have seen the last video on the chicken coop or the chicken house build, you've probably already seen some of the footage that you're about to see here, but we're about to take down these 3 trees behind me. First of all, because we need some 2x4s for the chicken coop build, which you should be able to see right over here in this corner of the shot right here. And also because these trees, as close as I can tell, they got struck by lightning. If you look here just on the base of this tree, you can see kind of this streak right here. It almost looks like the bark has been blown off of this tree, and it goes up a fair distance up the trunk here. And the same thing is going on with this tree right here. In fact, it goes all the way to the base with this one and travels on up the trunk. And these two right here actually still have some green needles on the top. I'll try to get the drone up there and show you all a better shot. But this one's in the same boat. This one's much skinnier. If you can see right here, it's very small. May not be a whole lot of good for lumber, but it's already turning brown at the top, and you can see the streaks up the trunk of it as well. Every now and then I get people asking in the comments section why I'm using the Echo when I've got these cool old Huskies right here. So really the answer is this Husky, as well as the rest of them, they're just really old. I've got a couple of 65s that are serviceable. I got this 77 right here that's serviceable. And the trouble is they're honestly just not quite as reliable as my brand new Echo Timberwolf. And the Echo is just a saw that I can grab and it's going to crank every time. These are a little more finicky, first because they're old and they're just a little more crude as far as the manufacturing process of them. But anyway, besides all that, since people have been asking a little bit, I'm going to break out the 77 today and give it a little workout and see if we can get these trees cut down and then cut up. Unfortunately, this one got just barely hung up in that tree right there, so I had to do something about that. Actually, I'm going to go in and eat lunch and hope the wind blows it down while I'm inside, and if not, we'll get the tractor out. Nope. Well, that wasn't really my plan, but it worked out. So that was kind of a case in point on the chainsaws. That 77 ran out of gas and I was never actually able to get it started again. And of course, y'all heard, probably needs some adjusting. It's just kind of old, probably needs some new parts on it. This one worked pretty good, so we got through it. You might be wondering why the Jeep is sitting out here. This morning my son and I came out and he told me that he wanted to bump over these logs or climb over these logs here, so I obliged and ended up breaking this universal joint right up here. And of course the Jeep can't get off of the logs just in two-wheel drive, so I'm gonna have to pull the logs out from up under it to free it up. First though, we've got to do some cleanup. I want to get these tops out of the way, but I really think there's another log in these tops, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut some limbs off and see if we can salvage another log there. Before I go any farther, I'm going to try to kind of get this drive shaft out of the way, either by putting it back up here on this just temporarily, or the proper way, which would be hanging it with zip ties. The Jeep's got lockout hubs on it, so thankfully it's not going to be spinning, so I can pretty well do what I want to with it. All right, I think that'll do for now. This is what I ended up with here. Out of those two largest trees, I got 10 logs. The largest one is 11 inches and the smallest one is 7.5, something like that. So they're not very big, but I'll undoubtedly get probably more than what I need as far as 2x4s go for the chicken house. This is our first log, and I chose this log because it seemed to kind of have the most scarring, I guess you could call it, on the bark from what I believe was a lightning strike. And I'm not really expecting anything very spectacular out of this log, or any of these logs really, because if you can look right here, you can see the scarring over here, but there's really nothing on the inside of the log that's corresponding to that. I was hoping for like a big burned mark down the middle, or maybe even a split. I'm glad it's not split because that'd ruin my lumber. But I was hoping for something in the middle of it to, you know, just some kind of an effect from the lightning. But let's just split it open and see what's in it. I positioned it like this so that this would kind of be up, and I could kind of make a shallow cut right here to get this slab off, and then just kind of see what it's looking like in the middle. As you can see here, if you look close, you can see where the tree has already begun to heal itself. It's got a lot of turpentine on the outside that's relatively fresh. So this tree may have survived. Really nothing to write home about. There's a bug hole right there and right over here as well, but I mean, we got a little bit of this blue stain right here, which is most likely due to that strike or whatever it was. But other than that, really nothing, not a whole lot going on here. Sorry guys, kind of an anticlimactic video so far. It turns out this log will be perfect for 2x4s, so let's go ahead and make them. That was a pretty productive log there. We ended up getting 6 2x4s that are really nice. These 4 are the 4 nicest ones, of course. These have got a little wane on them, but they're going to be used. They're totally usable for something. And there's these 2 down at the bottom, which are about 1.5 inches, 1 5/8 inches, something like that by 4, which will work great for studs to nail the siding up on the chicken house. For that cut right there, I made a very thin cut right up under this scar right here just to see what was going on. I don't expect it to be a whole lot different than the other one, but we'll check. So, no, nothing really noteworthy. You can kind of see kind of a density right here where the turpentine is kind of concentrating to heal this tree. But aside from that, nothing real special. Let's look at this. A little bit of blue stain there as well, but nothing to write home about. Good 2x4s though. That was the largest log out of those two trees, and it gave us 8 really nice 2x4s. 2 of them, of course, have got a little bit of wane on them, but they're still usable. And 2 of them are actually about 2 1/4 by 4. And these are going to go, I'm going to try to remember to put these on the insides as studs, basically, that I can nail the lapboard siding up to, so that thickness is really not going to make any difference. That'll be better than making a second cut on that. So anyway, that's going to do it for these 2 logs. That gives me 16 2x4s to work with. And for now, I'm going to stop that and start putting these on the chicken house. One of my plans with this project here was to build with a lot of green lumber and just kind of see what happened. A lot of old buildings have been built with green lumber. The whole thing kind of shrinks together, and nails tend to really kind of get jammed into green lumber a whole lot better than they do into dry lumber. And I've actually even seen it with this building right here. Some of the pieces of 2x4s that I have put nails into, I've had to go back a few days later or a couple weeks later, take those nails out, and I found that those nails really get stuck in that green lumber. a whole lot better than they do in pre-dried lumber. This is what I've got left over from those 2 logs that we just milled. So 4 2x4s left. So we ended up using, not sure exactly what the number is, but quite a few. So I'll most definitely have to mill a few more of those logs to finish up the rest of that project. It actually might take all of them between that other side and the back of it. There's quite a bit of trim left to be put up. Something really satisfying about being able to take trees down, make them into lumber, and put them right up on a structure that I'm building and not have to go to Lowe's or Home Depot. It's really a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.